Good evening, YouTubers. Welcome to ShrigleytubeTV. This is a Tuesday night extra video we've been doing. So it's just all about some imp racing and bits and pieces, and I hope you enjoy it. I'll do a bit of a voiceover, try and keep it interesting. And yeah, thank you very much for the feedback on the last few videos we've done. Really enjoyed reading the comments that you've made, and yeah, look forward to seeing you all on Tuesday night. Have a great week. See you then. Bye bye. Okay, here we go. This is going way back to 2010 practice, I think it was, at Snetterton, and somebody blown up and put oil over the track. So we had a pair of pirouetting Cortinas. How I didn't hit that Cortina, I will never know. I was just grateful that I managed to get a bit of turnout of it before contacting. Anyway, that was practice. So we escaped that. Now I did have an issue in practice which meant I qualified right down the grid, and this was the start of the race at Snetterton. So obviously I was faster than a lot of the cars, so I was able to make some good time up. It was very damp, and you see it was a bit slidey there, just finding the limits. So the car was really stonking. I was really pleased with it at this stage, so I'm able to make some good positions up. There's Robin Slater, remember him, that's Steve Platts there. Now Plattsy, great guy, but very difficult man to overtake. You've got to, he will not give you an inch. If you watch now, he'll just close the door when he sees me thinking about it, you know, which is quite right. He's welcome to do that, you know, that's no problem, no problem with that at all. So I'm following him round, and I think this was a bloke called Jim Clark in this Cortina. He's probably looking in his rear view mirrors thinking, crikey, what are these two up to behind me? So I think that's Brian Webb in the orange Anglia. Now I'm alongside, even though I'm actually past Plattsy in the red Imp here, but he just gives me a little kiss to let me know he's there. So I gave him a courtesy wave to say, yes Steve, I know you're there. We came around here, I gave him plenty of space, so that, and then the Cortina must have thought, oh, what's going on here? So there's Plattsy there. So the Cortina at this point obviously thought I could do without a trip to the body shop, so I'll let these two lunatics go. So I've washed him out wide there, and I'm on for catching up with the Anglia of Brian Webb. But I totally got, I mean, this was my first visit to Snetterton, I totally got that corner wrong, just turned in far too early and washed out. So yeah, my lines aren't very good. I was just learning the track. It was literally, I hadn't got a clue what corner was coming next, so I was driving as it came at me, sort of thing. Now, this is the notorious long straight at Snetterton. Get some good speed up down there. It's like 8.5 or 9,000 in the Hillman, probably about 110, maybe 112 mile an hour. Obviously the Imp's quite nimble through the chicane there, you can see. And where the Imp really is good at every circuit, if you watch, any high speed long corners, because the engine's lay on its side behind you, you've got no weight up high, so you have a really stable car. I mean, obviously my car doesn't look that stable, but I'm able to go on the outside of that Anglia, bit of opposite there. Now this car, I'm sure it was the ex-Dan Cox car, and he sold it to this other chap. I recognise the registration number. So this obviously isn't Dan Cox driving it, because I wouldn't be anywhere near him, in theory, according to him. Anyway, yeah, so he's got a bit of straight line speed on me, so I'm struggling to keep him there. But when we come to the next corner, obviously, the Imp comes into its own, being, you know, good layout with the engine in the back, good traction, and very stable, so able to pull him in, no problem there. Now this chap ahead of the Cortina is a guy called Colin, and Colin Gunton, great young man, very good driver, very competitive. I love the way when I was approaching the braking zone there, he sort of twitched to turn in to sort of close the gap on me. Anyway, won't hold that against him either. So I know I'm quicker than him, so I'm not stressed. I'll just have to keep chugging away. He's got quite a powerful engine. If you look on the straight, I really do struggle to keep with him. I think he was on like a 1040, probably I was on a 998 at this stage. This is early days though, I mean, compared to what we've got now, torque-wise, we'd go a lot better if we were back out again, but anyway. So, I'm closed up the gap, and I'm on his case a little bit. Obviously, the track's dried out a little bit, we have got a dry line, and this is, what's in the track are we? We're about to enter onto the long straight. I think it's the next corner, it's a long straight. So it looks like he's going to get past the Cortina, and I can see up ahead is Tunnel Vision Roger Godfrey in the Mini Cooper S. It's a lovely car, that. Now he's sporting a #1 on the side of his car, because obviously he won the championship last year. Now this is the long straight we're on now, so I can't make any distance on Colin here. He's got the legs on me, definitely. But he's obviously feeling the pressure a little bit, because as I remember... Right, sorry about that. I just turned the volume down on the cars because I was concerned that you couldn't quite hear my voice over the engine revving. So coming out the chicane there, Colin missed second gear and or third gear, and I was able to sneak past him. I think he gave me a little tap on the back wings to say, oh, I didn't want you to get through, but tough luck, I'm through now. So again, turned in too early for this corner, made a right hash of it, which enabled me to run completely wide, out of control. Oh my lord, what am I doing? All over the show. Now we did somehow manage to make it back for that corner. Now this is Roger ahead of me. Now Roger's not perturbed by any of my kamikaze style, so we don't have to worry about him getting nervous and making a mistake. I just need to get close enough to him so I can make that manoeuvre to get past him, because it's not called tunnel vision Roger for no reason. You really need to be alongside and past him for him not to shut the door on you. Very competitive driver and very good driver as well. So I've got him on the brakes here, and I think that is John Pugsley in front. I'm not 100% sure in the Anglia. So I've made a bit of distance, and I can see where I'm quicker and where I'm slower. And obviously the Mini being a 1300, it's got a few more horsepower than myself. So we're getting closer now. Just a bit of a wiggle on there, kept the toe in, and I'm just trying to weigh up where I'm going to make my manoeuvre. Someone's locked up there, a bit of tyre smoke on the track, so it's obviously a drying out track. Yeah, it must be this next corner, because I don't think the video plays for too much longer, to be honest with you. So just following them around here. You can see that's the front gaggle of cars up ahead. I can't remember where we finished in this race. Anyway, there's my manoeuvre right out the inside, and I think he realised there was no way I was going to let him pass, so washed out, and that was that. Anyway, next video is... Oh, hold on a minute, that was all about. Right, this is Donington Park. Oh, remember this was a frantic lap. This is like 2009. So here we go, tunnel vision Roger. Yep, I was alongside him, but quite rightly so, he didn't let go, he didn't back off. He proper racing driver, he held his line, and knew he'd have the beans on me up the hill, having a bit more capacity. So my little imp singing its heart out up here, trying to get up with this bunch. Now the poor bloke in the Cortina, I think he's watching in his mirrors thinking, what on earth is going on behind me? I've got a loose Hillman Imp and tunnel vision Roger. Because what happens is we all come into the chicane. I had a good run out of that corner, and I think they pull away from me a bit here, but I knew if I was going to get Roger, I was going to have to make a manoeuvre early on before he drove away from me. So once I got past him, I could bulk him. So I thought, right, I'll throw up the inside here. And the poor bloke in there, Lotus Cortina, must have thought, oh my lord, these two are going to take me out. So he goes off. Roger does the same as last time and holds his line brilliantly. And I have to fall back in behind him. So that was the end of that. I don't think I caught him in the rest of the race either. I think he drove away from me. So this is my mate Dave Valave. This is the guy that helped me so much with the Hillman engine. Now, he loved his motorbike, and he had this 6-cylinder Honda. It was an absolute work of art. I just keep quiet so you can listen to the engine, because that is an awesome engine in that. Now this video here is my very early days. The first engine I did for HSCC was dry sumps, because we were having issues with getting the oil to stay in the right place in the sump. So I did a dry sumps engine to see if it improves the condition of the bearings when we took it apart for inspection. So I ran this through to 9,000 RPM. This is on Bob's Daytac automated dyno, much posher than my dyno. It was really easy to find out if you're making good gains, good improvements or not, because you could overlay each run and see where the improvements or the losses were, and that would give you a learn depending on obviously what you change. So, you know, one day I would like to get to this level and have a dyno like that, so that I can guess, no guesswork. It's all on the paper, on the printout. It shows you exactly where you've gained and lost, rather than just looking at a wavy needle wandering around and saying, I think it feels better now. Anyway, It was a good engine this, it lasted quite a long time, but we were still in the era of 998s and sort of 96, 97, maybe 100 horsepower on a good day, 73, 74 foot-pound of torque. Obviously we've got a bit more now with the 1040s and a bit more development. Now this was a little video I had, that's Brian spinning at Silverstone, and someone sent me on an old phone, Benoy hunting me down there. How I didn't hit him, I'll never know. Another one, a near miss. So I'm not sure he's videoing here because he missed me. Now this was quite a long time ago. It's got to be similar era, 2009. CSCC organised a 3 days for the special saloons to go to Malory Park, and all these fantastic space range from back in the day all turned up, and they were trying to relaunch the championship, you know, as a new thing. So everyone took them out and got them ready, and I went along with Michael Bradbury in his Imp, and he let me drive it. I really enjoyed driving that. That was the first taste of a space frame. So I'd seen them sort of 30 years earlier when I was a kid and watched them at Donington Park in the mod sports races, and then I finally got to drive them. Now this is Simon Benoy on the Imp Club track night at Anglesey. Now, he wasn't a customer at this stage, so I said to him, would you like to have a go of my car and see what you think of the engine? So I let him off in it and just listen to him down this back straight now. He absolutely wrung its neck, but then he did buy an engine off me, so I didn't mind. He did like the car as well. He said it was very different to his, but yeah. Now this video is Spa Francorchamps 2009, going through Eau Rouge. Now I'd gone there with my father, and we decided to share drive the car. Well, it was the only way I could afford to get there was by offering him to let him drive the car. Now I did race one, which I think it was a 40-minute or an hour race, which was this race, and I had a really good do, you know. I did quite well. There's a massive grid, like 60 cars on the grid. I didn't know which corner was coming next, I had no idea, so it's all a bit of a learning curve. There's a dead car on the inside, so one of the yellows here. Now I'm just driving this as it comes to me because I couldn't memorise quick enough which corner was coming next. By the end of the race I'd got a fair idea, but you can only really concentrate on learning for sort of 10 minutes, or I can, and then it just all goes fuzzy. Anyway, I'm going round, and yeah, I was like 50 cars, I finished like 20th or something, so I was quite pleased with myself. Now my dad, obviously keen to prove how good he was, he did race 2, and I went to record. Actually, I haven't got the recording unfortunately, but I went to record from Eau Rouge, and I'd been going through there flat out, or barely lifting, so I'd made some really good spaces going through Eau Rouge, and he'd seen this. Now I think he wanted to show me how good he was, because on the first lap he came through Eau Rouge and he was overtaking cars, and there was a chap called Colin Mackay in a Mark II Jag, and he closed the door at my dad, and my dad didn't want to hit him, so he hit the brakes, and my dad went off out of my sight at the top of Eau Rouge at like 100 odd mile an hour, and he flat spotted all 4 tyres, which I was furious about. But yeah, good times, and he did actually manage not to hit anything, so the car was fine and we were able to go again. So I'm just trying to catch up with this Elan here, and obviously it's got the legs on me on the straight, but the Hillman, again, being one of its centre of gravity nice and low, it really is stable on the high speed corners, so we were able to catch him up. I mean, this circuit was like amazing. Look at the view. I mean, you think Alton Park's nice. This is just stunning, this place. So we would like to go back there at some point. I'd love to do the 6-hour race in an Imp. That's me, one of my goals. When we get the kids a bit older, and I can get them to mechanic for me. So just going up to the pit area is here, so I was able to catch him quite good with the brakes. There's a little chicane there, and then there's the pit straight there, and then at the end of this road, there's this part of the track, there's a hairpin, which the Imp was really quite good on, and then we go down the hill into a Rouge flat out, which is nice. Really suits the Imp, this part, not this part, the next part. So I was able to make a bit of time there, and then we get going down the hill. Now you might notice the temperature gauge was up to like 80 degrees. We were still learning about temperature at this stage. We didn't really understand the full ins and outs of running the engine hot. So you can see the Imp just absolutely flies through here. And I was like, oh crikey, I'm going to run in the back of him. So I would use a bit of curve, but I was able to get past him. And then obviously this long straight, and it's just horrendous. I put my 5.05 top gear in, and we were pulling 8.5, which is about 108 mile an hour or something, which is about as fast as a Hillman really go realistically, unless you've got 130 horsepower. So that was the yellow flag, so I recognise that before I went for the overtake on I think it's an Alfa Romeo in front. I did get him eventually. So it's nice to follow someone because I can see where the track's going now. Try and get my lines a bit better. Some of this is, one part of it's called the carousel or something. So anyway, yeah. So the car was running quite hot, and we knew from the dyno that once it got past sort of 75 degrees, it was really losing power. You know, it was like 5-6 horsepower. But at the time, we didn't have the radiator technology to keep the temperature down, so it just used to creep up there. Didn't bother it massively because we were only messing about with like 10.5, 11 to 1 compression. We didn't have full race screamers and intruder pistons and all the rest of it. So it went okay, to be fair, so it was alright, you know, for a little 998. So this Alfa, he doesn't want to let me past, obviously, but you find that quite a lot with him because they're like a small engine shopping car. People are quite sort of don't want him coming through. So I think he's still alongside me at this point, and he does actually hold his line. So I think I left him space there. It was a right-hander here, so I should be able to get him on this bit. Yeah, I think he's gone now. So we're on trying to catch up the next bunch in front of us. No, I'm not being held up. Lovely bit of track this, so flowing. If I could have a day there to practice, I'd be able to tidy this right up and get some serious speed. I actually think we could do quite well in the Imp now. I've got it all, the right bits inside it, some new tyres, etc. Obviously, I think I've developed as a driver as well since all this was taken. I think I'm a lot tidier now, and obviously a lot better with the gearbox and stuff. It was pretty terrible back then. Now, as I remember rightly, I think I get overtaken now by a Chevron. Or is that next lap? Yeah, it must be next lap. Yeah, look at that. Proper aggressive turning. Overshot it. What a plonker. Came out the corner with no grunt at all. Yeah. That's a classic example of how not to do it, by the way. So we're on that little straight again now before the hairpin, and then we're on the run down to Eau Rouge. Lovely weather, we had a cracking time. I remember that weekend for the rest of my life. It was a spa 6-hour weekend, and every other year they used to invite the closed wheel then open wheel, so this year it was closed wheel, so we had the HSCC was invited to go along and take part with their saloon cars, and we joined all the French and the Germans with their cars. That's why there were so many cars in the grid. So this is Eau Rouge, as fast as you can go. Amazing how much speed you can carry through there if you get it half right, you know. This is that horrible long straight where I was sat there thinking, it's probably quite busy inside the engine, I won't go past 8.5. So I think I was actually backing off on the throttle, which is a bit of a no-no because it can go lean, but yeah, it did manage to make it to the end of the race. If I went back there, I'd go for a taller top gear for sure. And save the engine a little bit, probably put a 5-speed gearbox in. So I'm not making a massive impression on these cars in front of me. I can still see them. I'm hoping that the video just play long enough for me to catch them. So yeah, you can see we're up to 80 degrees on the temperature there. This was a lovely left-hander, really good round here. The Imp was so strong round there. just feel the car working so well. Shame the lines were pretty bad. Under braking as well here. I feel I was catching them there. So the next gaggle of cars looks to be, I think it's a green Mini. The Imp suited this so well. It's all downhill this as well, you see, so your power disadvantage isn't as great through here. And they're all being held up by what I think is a Porsche light one. Obviously I'm watching this through a tiny screen on the phone, so it's hard for me to see. Yeah, that's a Mini. And the car in front of that is, I'm not sure yet, but we're going to get past this Mini, I'm pretty sure. See, you've got the legs on the top end there. Obviously it'll be a 1298 or something if it's an FIA. Oh, there's the chevron I was talking about, the fire-breathing chevron. So he overtakes him and him, which obviously slows them down as well because they're all going offline. And I'm able to catch up to them through this chicane. I'm trying to get it a bit better this time. Maybe it won't wash out quite as wide. It's a little bit better. Still off cam as it came out. I think he'd done something to the car because he missed a gear or something. The chevron hung back and it's off again now. So this is the hairpin before and the run down to Eau Rouge. The Porsche's gone wide. Oh, and that's it. Right, well, I hope you've enjoyed tonight's video. I look forward to seeing you all on Sunday. Have a great week. Bye for now.